Hey guys, this is Johnny MS, and it's been a while since I did a video, so I wanted to try to do one. I saw somebody doing it in the car, and I'm not going to be looking at the camera, but I wanted to let you guys hear me. I have a lot to go through. It's been 5 months since I had a Lemtrada, so I just want to share with you the things that I've been going through. Nothing crazy, but I want to update you on some things. So the first thing I want to say is I haven't had double vision in a very long time, so I'm still able to drive. When I had double vision, it just driving was a bad idea. There's no way that I could have. I didn't try, but I couldn't even see the guide on the TV, so I didn't want to even try to drive. So I'm glad that hasn't come back, because that by far was the scariest moment, is when seeing double vision, can't see very far, and just scary because you don't know if your eyes are going to get better. That obviously got better after a week's worth of IV steroids, so things have been better. All in all, since the Lemtrada, even before the Lemtrada, I had a little bit of walking issues. The first thing that hasn't really gone away, and I didn't really expect much to go away after the Lemtrada, but you know, always hopeful. So the first thing was walking issues. I'm still having walking issues. Been battling that. Very unpredictable. Don't really know how to make it get better until recently. I think recently I've learned a few things that have made it get better, a little bit more predictable. So anyways, the first thing I want to talk about is walking issues with my wife. I came up with a scale to let her understand how my walking's doing, because there are things that when my walking's too bad, I can't really go to a friend's house. I don't want to leave the house, or maybe it's really hot outside and my walking's already kind of bad, so I don't want to get worse. So anyways, we've come up with a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is I literally cannot walk even if I tried, not even to the bathroom. So 1 is barely any walking issues. So my average in the past 5 months has been around 4, sometimes up to 8, but most of the time 4, 5, 6 probably is a better way to say it. Some days are 4s, some days are 6s. Yeah, sometimes I've been limping while at work. People have noticed, so not really pleased with my walking these days. I've been trying new things. The first thing I've been trying is taking colder showers. I stopped taking hot showers 2-3 months ago. I take barely warm enough to take a shower. It's not ice cold, but it's barely warm enough to take a shower. So I feel like since I've started that, it's helping. I'm not saying it's a quick fix or anything, but I feel like it's helping. The other thing is so what was happening is when my walking issues, like I said, 4, 5, 6, 7, at most 8, I would get up in the morning, I'd get my daughter, my 2-year-old, to daycare, and I'd limp into the daycare with my daughter, and I'd limp out. Luckily, she's old enough she can walk by herself. I don't have to carry her or anything, so that's okay. That actually helps a lot. But yeah, there are times when I'm limping in and I'm limping out. Not fun. I haven't shared my MS with anybody at daycare, so I don't know. There are many times I don't want to, because there's a discussion, a long explanation of MS and what I'm going through and all that. So I only try to share that. I don't broadcast it, but I'm not private about it. So anyways, it's just one of those things that's kind of annoying. Luckily the walking's a little bit better. I'm not gonna say better, but a little bit better. I don't think it's because of Lemtrada. I think it's because ways of life that I've adjusted to try to help improve that. So the other thing that came up with my walking issues, my boss, who obviously knows I have MS, he asked me, he was like, so we're about to get a office in Chicago and get an office in San Francisco. Are you gonna, I'm based in Dallas, if you didn't already know that. He asked me, are you gonna be able to travel? Because I don't need you to travel a lot, but there will be times that I need you to go up there and help them with something, all that. And what I told him and what the doctor has told him in an HR sort of, hey HR, these are the things that can do and can't do. What the doctor told HR was, he can still do all that. He can travel when needed, etc. We just need to give him, maybe he flies out the night before instead of the morning of. Things like that, so that he has time to rest his legs. And I'm glad about that, and I think that's a fair assessment. If I have plenty of time to rest before I'm walking through an airport or walking a few blocks to the office from the hotel, I will likely be okay. Might limp a little bit, but it isn't going to be like an 8 or a 9 or a 10 even. So I'm glad about that, and I would agree with what the doctor said to my HR people. The other thing is too, I work at home a couple days a week, so they told my HR people, I mean, it's on our policy that we can work at home a couple days a week. I don't always like to, but there are days when my walking's just bad. I need to rest them. So what I'll do is that luckily I can work remotely at home a lot more than most people. It's not like I have to be at work to do my job. There's most of my job I can do from home. So there are occasionally 2 or 3 days even where I'll be at home because my walking is kind of iffy, and I feel like I'm gonna limp a lot at the office if I go in that day. And sometimes it's bad in the morning and then it gets better towards 11, 12, 1 o'clock, but not always. So there are days that I will choose, I'm at the stoplight, so I'm gonna look at you guys also. There are days when I just don't know. So I don't know if I should work at home that day or if I should go into the office. I don't know. It's just one of those things. So questionable, unpredictable that it's hard to decide when to work at home and when not to. So the other thing I want to update you guys on is work in general has been very supportive. We got purchased the end of last year. So my HR department wanted to really keep my MS stuff official and on file. So she asked me to get the doctor to communicate something to her so that we can put it in my file. And like I said, my doctor already told them what they should expect from me, but I can still do my job. So I'm not going to be able, or I'm not going to be worse at doing my job. That's essentially what the message said. He can still do everything. He just might need to have more flexibility, more work at home days when he's having bad leg days, etc. It was a very good letter to my HR department. I think it's good to have it on record so that if my trusted HR person moves on, like she leaves companies or something, at least it's on record so that I don't have to re-explain everything to the new person or to people I've never met and probably will never meet. So that's why we wanted to have it on file, and I would recommend that to everybody, to get your doctor to give something to have it on record, because it's kind of a load off. It's kind of, currently my HR person is very trusted and I know her very well. I've met her husband, etc., her family, but there might be a day when the new HR person, I may not know him or her. So it's good to have it on record. The other thing is too, work in general. I've been able to do everything that I normally do. So what has been nice is that the general manager in charge of our office, I've known him for 14 years. I did the math the other day. He has been wonderful. I told him early on when I got diagnosed, and I sort of give him updates as I go, and things are pretty good. I mean, all in all, I think things are good. I turned down the AC, so I hope you hear less wind, but it's pretty hot outside. So anyways, I'm at a stoplight, so I'm gonna look at you guys again. He's been very supportive. I've known him 14 years. I know his wife, I know his kids, so it's just kind of nice to have somebody I can talk to at work that doesn't think I'm just working at home for being lazy. No, it's because I need to. And the other thing on my list here is when I go to the office, where I park, walking from my parking spot that I normally park at. I've been working at the same office for about 6 years. I've been parking at the same place for about 6 years. I got diagnosed about 7 years ago, but I didn't have issues till about 3 or 4 years ago. Anyways, walking from my parking spot to the office, I've sort of estimated it's about 300 to 350 yards. And while it is flat concrete and tile and all that, it's just, I can tell it's a struggle for the days when I'm having iffy leg days, weakness walking and all that. I can tell that 350 yards adds up. It's like, so what I've learned is like walking with MS when you're having issues, it's kind of like an hourglass. You turn it over when you start your day, and any amount of standing or walking, the sand just keeps on going down. It's like you only have a certain amount of walking in you that you're gonna have that day. So what I've noticed is the less walking I do, the less useless walking, as my wife calls it, the less useless walking I do that day, the better off my day is. So when I go to work, when I'm having good leg days, or better, 3, 4, 5 leg days, walking days, I can tell. I can tell when I'm having a good day. I can tell by the end of the day when I'm having a bad day. So like that day, I'll get home and I need to sit down. I just need to sit and rest. Even though I work at a desk at work, there's still a lot of walking around the office, and my role involves a lot of walking around the office and things like that. So those yards act up. I don't know, I've never used a stepper to know how much I walk in a day, but I feel like I walk a lot around the office in a day. So I don't know, it's just one of those things, the less walking you do, the better your leg weakness is going to be. I mean, that sounds obvious, but I've definitely learned that when working. So I'm so thankful I don't work at like let's just say Home Depot, because I couldn't stand that long. I couldn't stand for an 8-hour shift. Even if I sat on a stool, I'd have to be up on my feet helping customers. So I thought about this, and I'm very thankful that I work at a desk, because there are many jobs I couldn't even think about doing with these walking issues. I'm looking at my list. Walking from parking, I already talked about that. Oh yeah, so the two things that have really I've noticed lately, so we go to Costco like once a quarter, or I go to Home Depot to pick up a little knick-knack to fix something in the house. And what I've noticed is that when I'm having leg weakness or when I'm not walking great that day, I need to just realize I need to stop pushing myself to really try to push through a session at Home Depot where something is in the back of the store and then I go find finally what I'm looking for, and then I have to walk all the way back to my car. I mean, that's not good. So what I've done a couple times, I'm still not mentally over it, but what I've done a couple of times is that they have scooters, little, I call them old man scooters because that's who you normally see in them. Scooters for people that can't walk very well at the front. And I've taken a scooter at Home Depot 2 times. And while mentally it's very hard to bring myself, I'm a 38-year-old man. It just feels so weird to take a scooter around Home Depot to do my shopping, to find what I need and to check out and then go home. It's so hard. But I've come to the point where I've slowly realized that I need it. I need to give in. I need to stop pushing. I need to give in. There's nothing I can do to stop my walking issues completely. So what I do now, I've done it 2 times. I've gotten the scooter at the front of the store, right by customer service, and then I do my shopping and then I leave. And then what happens is that I finally realized that I had a decent time at Home Depot. I took my time. I didn't have to stand up the whole time while I'm looking for what I need. It's just, I don't know, it feels weird as a 38-year-old, but man, it helps. So mentally, I highly recommend just getting over that part of it and just doing it. You'll have a better time. Same thing goes for Costco. I haven't gotten the scooter at Costco, but I think I might next time, because by the time I leave Costco, after we've done our shopping around the entire store, I can tell. By the time I'm leaving Costco, I start to limp. I start to limp to the car. By the time I'm loading up the car, I can tell I'm just having issues. So I need to get over that. I need to get used to when I walk into big stores like that, and I know I'm going to be up on my feet the entire time, and it's going to be an hour and a half on my feet. I need to just get a scooter. I mean, I just need to get over it. That's one thing that I've learned, is that it's so mentally hard to get over that, and I know I'm babbling about this, but it's hard. It's really hard. I'm having a hard time just saying this because I have a mentally hard time showing my weakness. So I don't know. It's just, I recommend everybody to get over the mental nonsense of it and just doing it. I haven't seen anybody at Home Depot or Costco that I know, but I'm already planning for somebody stopping me and asking me, hey, what's up? Why are you on a scooter? Maybe they don't know I have MS, so that's why they're asking. Or maybe I need to stop and tell them, yeah, I'm having a bad walking day, so I decided to get a scooter. They're not going to care. I mean, the people I know that that know I have MS are going to know. I mean, they're going to be fine with it. The people that don't know I have MS, I'm going to explain it to them, obviously. But no one's going to care. I mean, I wouldn't care if I saw anybody else and I did not have MS. If there's anybody on a scooter like that, I'm never going to look down on them or anything. So I'm at a stoplight again. I'm looking at my list. I'm looking at you guys. Yeah, I've already talked about walking in the morning. So the next step is that I am getting my next MRI next month. So what the doctor told me is that the only way we will know if Lemtrada is working is to look at MRIs to see if there are any new, or best case, even less lesions on my MRI scan. So once we get it, let's say 2, 3, 4 scans in, every 6 months we'll get a scan, then we'll know. The thing is, Lemtrada, it's not 100% in your body until 2 years. They give you 2 years worth of IVs. I have another IV in December, which will be about a year since my last one. And they'll give me, I believe, 3 days in a row this time. Last time was 5. This time it'll be 3 days of IVs. It was really easy last time, so I'm hoping it'll be easy again. And then we'll know. After 2 years, we'll know. Is it working? Is it not working? Once again, I'm still on Ampyra, Ampyra, and I took my Lemtrada, but I don't have any other MS drugs that I'm on. They have me taking Acyclovir, 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 twice a day. But I don't think that's MS related specifically. I think that's something about a virus or something helping your thyroid. I don't really know. So definitely look that up. Talk to your doctor. So once we get the MRIs next month, I assume I'm going to be going in to see my doctor right after that. And then we're going to talk about what was on the scan, what was in the MRI. Obviously, we're hoping for the best, but I'm always mentally planning for the worst and then being happy if something good happens. So those are my next steps. That's pretty much the end of my video. There's actually one more big thing I've got to talk to you about. It's weight gain. Ever since Lemtrada, I feel like, I don't know if it's just letting loose or I don't know what it is, but in the past 5 months, I've gained like 20 pounds. Like, that's a lot. So, especially when my doctor asked me, hey, you need to start losing weight. I've always been a big guy. I've always been in the 240 range, 245 range, but gaining 20 pounds is a lot. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I've greatly reduced inflammatory foods like sugar and milk products, like cheese, cheese is probably the hardest, but sugar, not really. Less bread and less other candy or something. But in short, it's been really weird. But one thing I have noticed, now that it's been 3, 4, 5 days, I just started this great reduction of bread and carbs and all that. I was always a little bit low carb, but since Lemtrada, I've just been like, who cares? Well, now 20 pounds says I should care. So I've greatly been reducing sugar and other things in inflammatory foods. The only reason I know that is because I saw a lot of YouTube videos with Montel Williams, who's sort of the MS spokesman, I guess. He obviously has access to the top medical everything, and he said he greatly reduced inflammatory foods. So I greatly reduced sugar, I greatly reduced milk products, and I have a theory that now that I've done that, my walking is a little better. So I didn't mention that in the original video, and that was an accident. I I think inflammatory foods for people with MS, now that I've heard Montel Williams talk, I would greatly recommend going to YouTube and looking up Montel Williams videos. It's just a lot of education that maybe your doctor didn't tell you, or mine didn't say that, but my doctor has said, hey, you should lose weight. Let's focus on MS, not on potentially getting diabetes or something else, right? High blood pressure, diabetes, all of the normal stuff, heart disease, all that. But now that I've seen some Montel Williams videos, I am kind of sold, because my walking has improved in just, I don't know, it's been like a week. In just like a week since I would call it something like, I guess my body was like, oh, we hate that kind of stuff, and causing my walking issues to be worse. So I'm really hoping that greatly reducing my sugar and milk products, which are probably my two main ones that are inflammatory. Everything else I don't think that I normally eat is. So just one more thing, 20 pounds in 5 months, that's a lot. So I'm working on reducing that so that next time I see the doctor, he's not going to be like, what the heck happened? So that's one thing I forgot to leave on the last one. That's all I have. Johnny MS out.